How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I have for you all unlocking the 4th voucher for the Wildcard / Division Series event. You only have until tomorrow at 12 p.m. around 3 p.m. Eastern Time to finish off this event, and the only way to get the Eddie Murray and the Robin Yount is to go ahead and get some of these vouchers, and then the only way, of course, to get the Signature Series pack is to win 20 event wins in this one, and then unlock all of the vouchers, get that 4th voucher, unlock all of them for all 3 of these upcoming playoff events in order to get that Signature Series pack. You can pull a card that's going for around 100,000 stubs or a rare tier card in that pack, so I think it's definitely worth it, especially if you want to try and get some of these event wins anyway. Of course, winning the 15 event wins will allow you to unlock 30 program stars for the 8th inning program, so that's also nice. A lot of these games I uploaded in this event, I was losing in the game. I mean, I was down a couple runs early on. I was giving up a lot of runs in this one on All-Star difficulty. A lot of the previous events have been on Hall of Fame, so I had much more success pitching in those events. But on All-Star, I've been giving up a lot of runs, a lot of home runs. I lined out a few times myself, giving up a lot of lineouts to the opponents as well, so it goes back and forth, but for the most part, I've been able to come back in a lot of these games. At times, if the score was tied or I was winning in the game, then sometimes I'll give away some at-bats. I won't be as selective. I will tend to swing at pitches that I wouldn't necessarily swing at if I was losing in the game. So it's not always a bad thing. It's really good practice for ranked seasons as well. I know it's on All-Star difficulty, so not really the best practice for the difficulty. But in terms of quick games, 3-inning games, I was down in a lot of these games trying to make those comebacks. It's going to help me in ranked seasons in the long run. But I was able to come back in this one, put up 5 runs, trying to make it 6 here with the ball in the gap from Max Muncy. Kind of mixed up my lineup here and there, but for the most part, I pretty much stuck with the same guys. I was using a lot of the Home Run Derby cards that have a lot of boosted power. I haven't really tried out any of the new Finest cards. I've been extremely busy with a couple of personal things. Today, I went to get my teacher certification finalized in the state of Arizona. So that was kind of what I was doing. I wanted to also try and get some of these event gameplay or event games in order to get the voucher, because I know that I don't know if I'll be able to play this event tomorrow. I'm going to try and get some ranked seasons in, try and get a couple streams coming up this week. I know I mentioned that a little bit ago, but I've just been extremely busy. I've kind of had to take a step back from that. I want to get back into doing that and get back on the grind. So in this game, this opponent had an amazing record. I think his ranked seasons record was like 48-8, something like that. But I was patient at the plate, drew a couple walks to start it off, and Matt Kemp rips a 3-run shot into the bullpen. They were playing at the Tiger Stadium, which I don't really normally play at Comerica Park all that often, but the Tigers are my favorite team, so I do like the field. It's just not really my favorite field in a video game just because of the dimensions, but one of the most beautiful stadiums I've seen in person, and it's right up there with a couple of other ones that I've seen as well. But anyway, I had an opportunity to kind of break the game open. I did it a 3-run homer, but Didi Gregorius flew out there to right field. I didn't really square that one all the way up, though. I just wanted to include some of the at-bats where I hit the ball well, and some of the at-bats when I missed it and popped it up in a situation where I could have scored some runs. So anyway, this opponent has something going here. He squared this one up all the way with Freddie Freeman. It's just for playing at Comerica, 420 to center field. I felt like I'd chip it. That's a 2-run shot, and we have ourselves a ball game. But 3-0 in the bottom of the first, facing Andrew Jones. He hits the fastball, or I guess sinker, above the zone and bloops it in there for a single. That was a great hit. Nice piece of hitting right there. Way to foul it off, or at least have a good at-bat, foul some pitches off, and get that base knock. But later on in the game, I squared one up with Peterson. Jock Peterson lined out to right field. That had happened to me a few times in this event where I pull an inside pitch where I thought if I just got slightly under it a little bit more, then it's a no-doubter, but slightly on top of it, or just squared it up with the line drive. In this next game, though, this opponent was bunt dancing quite a bit. It was kind of making me laugh a little bit. I knew that he could still play the game. I mean, he had a couple games in ranked seasons and is a bronze level player. But that banner popped up right there, and I threw a cutter over the middle. I had early feedback. You couldn't really tell where I missed the hoop, but I missed way to the left. I missed location there, and that's just is what it is. In this specific game, I think I lined out more than half of my outs. I wanted to try and include a couple of them. But the first inning, I definitely had an opportunity to score a run. Second inning, I had an opportunity to score as well. and I didn't capitalize. The opponent hit another 2-run homer on a pitch I tried to throw below the zone. But so far in this game, I felt like I beat myself. This guy was okay at the game, but this is a crazy angle. I don't know what happened at this camera angle. But so far, I mean, I only have one base hit. I had an opportunity. I tried to steal second. I got thrown out. I was beating myself in this game. But we still have an opportunity to come back. I hit a solo shot with Didi Gregorius. He leaves in Aroldis Chapman to face Travis d'Arnaud, and he's going to hit a solo shot as well. So we scored 2 runs right away in this inning. I had Russell Martin leading the inning off. I was in a 3-0 count, and I swung at a pitch middle away, but I popped it up to the infield. And I felt like if I would have gotten on base there, I would have had a really good opportunity to come back in this one. I lined out with Cody Bellinger, hit that one perfectly, good squared up, barrel on it, right on the, I mean, you guys can see the feedback right there. It's the same exact pitch, 100 off the bat. Would have liked that one to fall in for a base knock. We would have tied the game up with a 2-run shot by Acuna, but instead it's a solo shot. Still have a chance. Hit 3 solo shots in this inning, and it would be nice to beat this guy just because he's kind of just messing around, bunt dancing, doing some weird stuff. I lined out to end it. He deserved to win that one. I beat myself in that game, and he hit 2 home runs. So it is what it is. I hit 3 home runs and lost by 1 run. It happens. I mean, that's baseball. But in this next one, I'm trying to get right back on the win streak, try and get some dubs, and finish off this event run. I'm at about 18 wins. I need a couple more to get this 4th and final voucher. I know that it's going to be much easier to get the Robin Yount once you have the 4th voucher. In the next event, you only need to get 2 vouchers. You'll have them. You'll be able to sell them quicker. I sold that Eddie Murray just because I'm trying to complete Honus Wagner. If I'm able to get Chipper Jones, I might sell him and try to go after that Honus Wagner just because of how exclusive that card is. And I already used Chipper Jones in years past. Honus Wagner's more of a new card. I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that. As this opponent smacks out 2 home runs to start this game, this guy is definitely a good player. I could tell by his at-bats. He had good timing on the baseball. He had good at-bats, good swings and everything. And I was able to get a base knock with Matt Carpenter. This guy was pitching really effectively. I was able to get the bases loaded later on in the inning, a couple base knocks. He went to the brand new Steven Strasburg relief pitcher, and I hit a grand slam with Ronald Acuna. Fastball inside, I turned on it. My timing after the first couple of games started to get a little bit better. I was on the baseball a little bit more, starting to locate some of the pitches where I wanted to a little bit more. I was still hanging some pitches here and there. I mean, left Kershaw in for 1 too many at-bats. I probably gave up more runs in this event than I have in the last 2 ranked seasons combined, just because the way the game is. I mean, I'm giving up a lot of runs on All-Star, giving up a lot of good squared-up hits, a lot of hard contact, and I'm still using some pretty good pitchers, but it doesn't really seem to do anything when you're going up against some hitters that are able to get high exit velocities, stuff like that. It's very tough to pitch in these type of events. But in this situation, Jock Peterson is going to send an extra base hit to the left side, gets off the wall, and he goes into second base. I had a nice late base hit with Ronald Acuna. It was actually a horrible late base hit. It was a very late jammed hit that kind of set this whole inning up. Realistically, I mean, if that hit would have resulted in an out, I still would have scored some runs if everything stayed the same. But I felt like that also helped me propel to a bigger inning. In the following inning, I had the bases loaded once again and an opportunity to kind of break the game open even more. And we're just going station to station. Don't really have the most speed over there around the bases. Third base, 78 speed. He had a pretty good arm in center field. Ronald Acuna's live series did get that boost in outfield and arm strength and everything. But Matt Carpenter, signature series Matt Carpenter, one of the cards I recently picked up. And after selling that Eddie Murray, I wanted to go after some signature series cards that were cheaper. I'm really close to unlocking 60 of those. Like I said earlier, if I get the Chipper Jones, I could sell them and buy off all the other cards, do the exchanges for the team affinities and stuff like that. Probably still have some stubs left over while redeeming that Honus Wagner. But anyway, I broke the game open big time in this one. Russell Martin goes deep, the signature series Russell Martin. Good squared up, no doubter. He left in Aroldis Chapman, and Didi Gregorius, the Tops Now version, is going to send out a home run. Not a no doubter, but a very similar hit to some hits that Tony Gwynn would get. He has very similar stats. Lower contact, obviously, but similar swing, similar hit. Just kind of reminded me of Tony Gwynn right there. But Travis d'Arnaud, another solo shot, back to back to back, and then we finished up that game 13-1. The opponent stayed in the whole time, though, and finished out the game. Anyway, Matt Kemp starts the next game off with a 2-run shot. This opponent left in Patrick Corbin for the entire first inning. I'm trying to get something going because if you leave your starter in, regardless if it's a diamond, one of the best pitchers in the game, in shortened games like this with stamina and everything, it will play a major factor. And you can see how large my PCI size is once he leaves him in for 3 innings in a shortened game. It's like the pitcher would be throwing a complete game in 9-inning games. I mean, even the best pitcher in the game, Clayton Kershaw, he can't even go 7 innings in ranked seasons for the most part. But I joined up another game for the final 20th win, trying to get that 20th win, and the opponent just quit out. So the previous game at Oriole Stadium was the 19th win. We get the 20th win, and here's the 4th voucher, the screenshot for the 4th voucher. So I'm trying to get that Honus Wagner. I don't have any stubs at all, but if I can get Chipper Jones, sell him, then I should be able to get him and try to debut him. Probably debut Chipper Jones first, and then try out Honus Wagner. But I got to get to World Series first. But thank you guys for watching. Peace out.